Yo, what's going on YouTube, man? You guys already know who it is, man. It's your boy, Sports God TV, where we talk sports like religion. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. Click that notification bell so you can get notified when I upload. Share the content, jump in the comments. Let's get it cracking. Happy New Year's to my subscribers, man. I hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful new year and hope you got some new goals, new drive, new energy, new opportunities. That's what it's all about. Appreciate the support. Keep hitting that like button. Keep hitting that share button. And also keep hitting the subscribe button, man. So I'm getting into it. Obviously, I didn't do a video during the week. We got 2 games today, and I'm gonna give you guys the rundown on week 18. But first, I gotta recap week 17, where I went 2-6 with the picks, man. Man, it was crazy, man. I'm just gonna get right into it, man. I took the Browns minus the 7.5 on the road, and the Browns covered that spread by beating the New York Jets 37-20. Joe Flacco tossed 3 touchdowns, man, and the magic continues in Cleveland as they are in the playoffs. Watch out, AFC. The defense. And if Joe Flacco could bring the magic to Cleveland like he brought to Baltimore on that spectacular run that they had, again, watch out, AFC, watch out, NFL. Then we had the Detroit Lions and Dallas. I took Dallas on the spread, which was 6 points. They won the game 20-19, but of course, and you guys already should know, there was a controversial penalty that negated the 2-point conversion that the Lions made to actually win that ball game. It was big story throughout the week of football. And people saying, man, Jerry Jones and the Cowboys organization got the refs in the back pocket, man. What you think about that? Yeah, so I don't know, man, but it was crazy. But the Cowboys did pull off the victory. Then you had the 49ers versus my Washington Commanders. I took the Commanders on a 13-point spread. I thought they would play the game actually tough, and they were playing tough. Don't get me wrong in the first half, but San Francisco overtime just overwhelmed my Washington Commanders 27-10. Then there was the Dolphins versus the Ravens. I took the Ravens at home minus the 3.5-point spread, and they not only covered, but they blew the doors off the Miami Dolphins 56-19 as Lamar Jackson makes another case on why he should be the league MVP 2x times. You heard? Then it was the Saints and the Bucks. I took the Bucks, man, on the spread -3 at the crib, and they blew it, man. The Saints came in ready to play, prepared as they beat the Bucks 23-13 on the road. And then it was the Steelers versus the Seahawks. I took the Seahawks thinking the Seahawks would handle business at home, and the Steelers actually pulled off that victory 30-23. And the Steelers have a formula, man. And it's back to when Jerome Bettis was back there. It's back there when they had Franco Harris and company. Pound the football, be more physical than the opponent. And that seems like the correct formula to win with this team they have. And then it was the Bengals versus the Chiefs. I took the Bengals, man, on the road with the 7 points, minus the 7. Because the Chiefs were favored, but the Bengals lost that game 17-25 as the Chiefs secured their playoff spot and position in the playoffs. And then last but not least, it was the Packers versus the Vikings at home. I had the Vikings minus the 2-point spread at home, and the Packers came into town. The cheeseheads were cheesing it as they blew out the Minnesota Vikings 33-10. Now, these games that's going on today and a lot of important matchups for week number 18, the final week of the NFL season. I got some playoff scenarios for you guys. I'm going to start off with the Steelers versus the Ravens. The Ravens has already clinched the number 1 seed. Lamar Jackson will not play today. It would be led by Tyler Huntley, whom is a similar quarterback when it comes to the skill set of a Lamar Jackson. And they play against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers 9-7, 4-3 away from the crib. Ravens 13-3, 6-2 at the house. Steelers are 3-point favorites. You obviously know that they are 3-point favorites because Lamar Jackson is not in the lineup, and they're going to be probably resting some of their best players on defense. Give me the Steelers. I think the Steelers can get this done, man. They are actually 6-1 versus the Baltimore Ravens since 2020. They're 3-0 versus Lamar Jackson and 3-1 versus any other quarterback that they played against. And I think the formula that I spoke about, pounding the ball, being more physical up front, making the necessary throws, as long as they don't turn the ball over, I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers get the win on the road. Now, the Steelers, they can get in with a win or a Jaguar Bills loss or a tie between the Texans and the Colts. Interesting, right? Let's move on. Now we got, speaking of the Texans versus the Colts, you got the 9-7 Texans, 3-4 away from the crib. Colts are 9-7 as well, 4-4 at the house. The Texans are 2.5-point favorites. Give me the Texans with C.J. Stroud back in the lineup. I think they closed the deal. The rookie has been sensational throughout the year. I believe that the Texans get into the playoffs. The Texans, the winner of this game, actually, if the Jaguars lose, will clinch the division. And either way, the loser goes home. Give me the Texans. Next up, we got the Vikings versus the Lions. Vikings are 7-9. And 5-3 away from the crib. The Lions 11-5 and 5-2 at the house. Lions are 3.5-point favorites. Give me the Vikings, man. Give me the Vikings on the road. The Lions are either going to finish second or third in playoff seeding in the NFC playoff picture. They don't really have anything to play for. Would they lay down and just let the Vikings have an opportunity to win? I'm not sure, but I'm going to roll with the Vikings. I think the Vikings, and the Vikings crazy, they can get in the playoffs with a Packers loss and a Seahawks loss or a Saints and Bucks loss. Slim chances, but they definitely can get in. The Jaguars versus the Titans. The Jaguars 9-7 overall, 5-2 away from the crib. And then the Titans 5-11 and 4-4 at the house. The Titans are not in the playoffs. The Jaguars are 3.5-point favorites. Trevor Lawrence, little shoulder injuries, but I'm sure he's going to toughen that out and get up in the lineup. I take the Jaguars on the spread. Now, the Jags can seek their first 10-win season since 2017. And with a win, they will clinch the AFC South division. And then if they lose, they can still clinch a wild card spot if the Broncos, Steelers lose, and there is no tie between the Texans and the Colts. Next up, we got the Falcons versus the Saints, right? Falcons are 7-9, 2-6 away from the house. The Saints are 8-8 and 4-3 at the house. The Saints are 3-point favorites. Give me the Saints to cover the 3-point spread. Now, the Saints, this is going to be an interesting game. Here's the scenario. If the Bucks lose, right, the winner of that game wins the division. If the Bucks win, the Saints still can get in the wild card if the Packers and the Seahawks lose. So they have a significant chance to get into the playoffs. Then you got the Bears versus the Packers. Bears are 7-9, 2-6 away from the house, and the Packers are 8-8 and 4-3 at the crib. Packers are 3-point favorites. Give me the Packers at Lambeau. But interesting, man. Aaron Rodgers has been breaking the Bears' hearts for years. Jordan Love is in a position to do the same. Justin Fields threw some shots at the at the Wisconsin area fan base saying there's nothing to do. They're going to be loud in the stadium. There's really nothing to do in Wisconsin but watch football. So I'm sure he's going to receive a lot of boos every time he drops back in the pocket. But Justin Fields been playing off the charts. The Bears offense been looking really legit, even though they've been trash all year. And I know they look to spoil the Packers' chances, but give me, like I said, the Packers to take care of business. If the Packers win, it's just this simple. If the Packers win, they in. If they lose, they still can get in with losses from the Vikings, the Seahawks, and either the Saints or the Bucks. All right? Now, we got the Eagles versus the Giants. Eagles 11-5, 5-3 away from the house. The Giants are 5-11 and 3-4 at the house. And you know that they ain't going to the playoffs. The Eagles are 5.5-point favorites. Now, the Eagles, they already got a playoff spot. But they can win the division if Dallas loses. It's just that simple. Eagles win, they win the NFC East title. All right? And then we got the Cowboys. Speaking of the Cowboys, 11-5 and 3-5 away from the house versus my Washington Commanders, who are 4-12 overall and 1-6 at the house. Hey, it's just that simple. Commanders, don't show up. I know it usually be a time where we be happy to spoil the Cowboys. Any chances they got in the playoffs or any seeding, anything, I love it. But this time around, we locked in at the number 2 pick overall. Man, don't even show up. Get blown out. I don't give a damn. Plain and simple, I want that second pick. Period, point blank. Cowboys are 13-point favorites. Give me the Cowboys taking the spread. Cowboys win. Eagles lose. Cowboys win the division. It's that simple. And if they lose, they still can win the division if the Eagles lose. You feel what I'm saying? So it works out either way when it comes to that. Now, Seahawks versus the Cardinals. Seahawks can win. With a win and the Packers loss, they are in. Seahawks 8-8, 3-5 away from the crib. Cardinals 4-12 and 2-5 at the house. Seahawks are 3-point favorites. Give me the Seahawks. Rams locked in the 6th seed versus the 49ers, who already clinched the number 1 seed. Give me the Rams on the road. Rams could either finish 6th or 7th seed. Chiefs already locked in as the 3 seed versus the Chargers. Give me the Chargers minus the 3.5. Bills versus the Dolphins. The winner takes the division and will be the 2nd seed. Dolphins is 10-6. Bills is 10-6. Dolphins is 11-5. 3-4 on the road for the Bills. 7-1 at the crib for the Dolphins. It's a primetime game. Like I said, the winner takes the division and locks up the number 2 seed. But if the Bills lose, they need the Jaguars, Steelers to lose, and no tie between the Texans and the Colts to get in the playoffs. What are you guys' thoughts on this last week of football? Feels great that we're already getting to playoff time. Feels kind of bad that football is going to come to an end. It's your boy, Sports God TV, where we talk sports like religion, and I'm out. Till the next time.